Welcome to Carroll's free application for Federal Student Aid Overview. 'Tis the season with fall in full swing and October looming to think about the federal FAFSA process, which opens up on October 1st each year. You will file a FAFSA every year you attend college, so remember, fall is the time to think about filing. Our overview will include highlights of the FAFSA form, what to expect when completing the form, and after you complete the form, mistakes to hopefully avoid, tips from the pros, federal aid available, and finally, a timeline for the whole financial aid process, which begins now and goes through next August. An overview of the FAFSA process is summarized here, but it can feel like a daunting, overwhelming process. So today, I hope to give you a glimpse of the process you will begin in October. The FAFSA is required for all federal aid, which includes gift aid-free money, like grants, along with work study and student and parent loans. Be sure you are on the FAFSA.gov site and not a site that requires you to pay for filing the FAFSA. It is free to apply for federal aid. We encourage you to file beginning October 1st. But our priority deadline to file the FAFSA is December 1st. Many schools have first come, first served aid, so it's always best to complete it as soon as you can after October 1st. Carroll has a renewal FAFSA deadline for current students of February 1st to continue receiving Carroll's need-based grants and awards. Before you file your first FAFSA, I would encourage you and at least one parent to obtain your federal student aid ID online at fsa.ed.gov. The FSA ID serves as your signature for the FAFSA and all federal aid sites from the first time you complete a FAFSA through graduate school and repayment of student loans. Do not lose it and keep it safe. The FAFSA uses 2-year prior federal tax data. So we understand sometimes your income levels have changed or other special circumstances arise and your situation is different than what the FAFSA will require. Colleges can choose to do a professional judgment or special circumstance review if you choose to submit the appeal documentation. This is done on a school-by-school basis, and the result can be different at each school. Carroll has an online form which explains the most common circumstances we review, like loss of income. This is what you will see when you go to FAFSA.gov. The home view features a 2-button login option and current announcements, as well as an easy access toolbar featuring links to applying for aid and loan information. The user can select the applicable role to fill out the FAFSA form: student, parent of a student, or preparer helping a student. Once you choose to log in, you will click the I am the student option to begin. This is where your FSA ID and password will be used, which is why we recommend creating one ahead of time so it is less confusing. If you did not create your FSA ID yet, you can still begin the process, either by creating one on the login screen, which will redirect you to fsaid.gov, or by entering student identifiers. But you will need the FSA ID to actually submit your FAFSA, since the FSA ID serves as your signature for federal aid processes. Once logged in, you'll be asked to choose the year you wish to complete. You will want to select the 23-24 FAFSA. We unfortunately received the wrong year FAFSA for many students, which means they need to go back and complete it a second time. So make sure that you have the correct year. The Save Key option that pops up will allow an applicant to save their FAFSA and return at a later time to complete and submit the application. The application is saved for 45 days unless the applicant submits their application for processing prior to that date. Additionally, the Save key provides applicants a way to share access to their FAFSA if their parents need to add information or to sign it. This is the first view for the student demographics section. This is one of multiple pages on FAFSA.gov that explains that you and your are referencing the applicant or student. There are other tabs that will reference parent. If you need help completing the FAFSA form, you can review the resources found on the introduction page. You can click on the Expand All to view all the resources all at once, or you can click on the drop-down button to the right of each question to view that question's respective resource. While not mandatory, it is beneficial for the applicant and parent to include an email address on the FAFSA in order to receive important communications about their financial aid. It is also recommended that you use an email address that you can frequently or easily access. Making corrections or accessing your FSA ID and password reset is the most common frustration students have with the FAFSA process. Choosing your email address carefully can help you with that process. On the college search screen, you can search and select up to 10 colleges you want your FAFSA results to go to. If you need more than 10 schools, hopefully not, then you must submit the FAFSA, wait for it to process, and then go back in to make a correction to add the other school. But you will also need to delete some schools, which means the deleted school will not receive other corrections you may make. The student dependency question begins with, what is your marital status as of today? And do you now have or will you have children who will receive more than half of their support from you? There are also other questions such as these presented that may make you independent from your parents. If you cannot answer yes to any dependency questions, then you are dependent and you must use the parental income on the FAFSA. If you have extenuating circumstances like court-ordered situations, please discuss those special circumstances with the aid office and we can assist you in completing the process. This is the first view in the parent demographics section. It will determine if their current marital status is married or single, divorced, or separated. This determines the tax data to use. For instance, if your biological parents are divorced and you live primarily with your mom and her new husband, she would indicate her current marital status as married and only list her income and her new husband's income. You will not include your biological dad's income since FAFSA is looking for the income from the household in which you reside. Household size is calculated based on previous answers. The applicant will enter the number of household members in college, including himself or herself. This is the first view in the parent financials section. You will see an option at the bottom, which is a link to the IRS. This is the easiest and quickest ways for both a parent and the student to download their 2021 tax data directly into the FAFSA. Also, by doing the IRS data retrieval tool, you will be less likely to be selected for the verification process, where colleges have to request your actual tax documents to verify the FAFSA data is accurate, and it certainly can be time-consuming. The most important thing to remember is the IRS DRT process needs to have the exact match to the address you used on your 2021 federal taxes. So you may wish to pull up your taxes to be sure you are using the right abbreviation for street or using the extended zip code or not. Some people cannot use the DRT due to a recent divorce or separation since 2021 taxes were filed, but many people are successful in downloading the data. The asset page will ask you three main questions: cash, savings, and checking balance as of today, net worth of investments, including real estate, but not your primary home, and net worth of businesses and/or investment farms. Be sure not to include a family business or family farm with 100 or fewer FTE employees. Also note that 529 or college saving plans are typically the asset of the owner, which is a parent or grandparent, not the asset of the student. Most of the same tax and asset questions are then asked for the student as you see here. So you would go through the same exercise as you did for the parent data. When you get to these signature pages, it is a good sign. This is where you need both the student FSA ID and one parent FSA ID. The FAFSA allows the user to select which parent will be signing the application if you listed two parents. Be sure to select the parent that has an FSA ID if you listed two parents. And you will need to remember if you listed dad in parent 1 or mom in parent 1 on the form. This can cause frustration when attempting to sign. This is your confirmation page, which tells you your submission was accepted. Print or save this for your records. So what's next? Well, the Department of Education will send you a confirmation email with a link to your Student Aid Report, or SAR. Review it for accuracy. If you need to make corrections, you certainly can do so. If not, you wait patiently for the next steps, like receiving your aid offers from the schools that you've listed. The types of aid you may be eligible for include grants, which are free money, student loans, which require repayment after graduation, work study, which requires a student to work approximately 10 hours a week while enrolled to receive a paycheck monthly, and lastly, parent loans, which can enter repayment while the student is in school or be postponed while the student is enrolled. Grants are generally available for high-need students. Work is available for most need-based students. And regardless of financial need, you will receive notice of Stafford loan eligibility, which may be partial subsidized or may be all unsubsidized. Parents may borrow loans up to the full cost of attendance minus the other aid offered, which helps to fill the gap of what you may need to pay the bill if you do not have a college savings plan. Much more information regarding aid options will be available to you when you receive your aid offer. A one-on-one meeting with a counselor is a great way to understand the aid that you are eligible for. At Carroll College, merit scholarships are the base of our aid offer, even before we package federal aid. Freshman merit awards are 4-year awards and can range from $17,000 to $24,000 a year. One unique thing about Carroll's merit program is that a student only needs to maintain good academic standing in the college to keep their merit level, which is a 2.0 GPA. Many merit programs at other colleges require a higher GPA to be maintained for higher merit scholarships. We do this purposefully as we understand that sometimes life gets in the way. Sometimes a student picks the wrong major, or they get sick during a term and they need to regroup to get their grades back on track. That is okay at Carroll. Our priority is to see our students succeed and graduate and move on to bigger opportunities after college. We realize that potentially losing $24,000 a year can be devastating for families. So this is why we have our generous policy. At Carroll, we will accept higher test scores normally through April of 2023 test dates and or final high school transcripts if it will help the student move to a higher level merit scholarship. This year, for fall of 2023, new students, we will accept higher test scores through the first day of class fall term of 2023. We have a merit scholarship calculator on our website in addition to a net price calculator, which can give you a full picture estimate of what your aid may look like at Carroll. Carroll College need-based grants and awards can range anywhere from $500 up to $11,000 based on FAFSA results and other aid a student is eligible for, like merit, athletic, and activity aid. Carroll need-based aid is for 4 years as long as the student continues to have financial need. Aid offers will start to arrive now and go through about April. Private colleges will begin sending in November through January, and public colleges between February and April. Keep your aid offers in a special folder, so when you've received them all from your top colleges, you can sit down at the kitchen table and compare as a family. We understand the decision may not always just come down to the major or the fit, but that finances can play a big part of the overall fit and right choice for you. We want this to be a great decision for you and your family. When you are comparing colleges, I encourage you to give us a call and we can help navigate the comparison. We also insert a comparison worksheet for your convenience in the financial aid packet. To summarize, our timeline for the year begins now with your application for admission, which rolls into the FAFSA process in October. Scholarship applications are also available now, so start applying as soon as you can. Our Carroll aid offers will be mailed to you the first week of January. The next steps are to review all aid offers with your family, call our financial aid office to review options, make your final decision and accept your aid offer by May 1st at the latest, pay your enrollment deposit and register for classes, make payment arrangements in June or July, and finally, begin your adventure at Carroll College. Please let us know if we can help you along the journey. We have 4 counselors who are available to assist you. We do not assign counselors by alphabet, but rather are available for you whenever you need us. Thank you.